So glad to meet you all. I'm very happy that you people made it here to attend this national seminar on career opportunities for NCC cadets. This particular session is about mock SSB screening. Right from morning, you have heard a lot of opportunities and different methods, like what are the different various methods you can join armed forces and you can prepare yourself for UPSC and other state board exams. And session 3 was mainly about the different types of tests. Okay, so I will be continuing this session to explain more about your SSB screening, and I will be conducting a mock picture perception and description test. So I'd like to throw you a question. Is there anyone who has attended SSB interview earlier? Anyone who has attended SSB interview earlier? Not even a single person who has tried your 10+2 technical entry scheme? No? How many of you have studied maths, physics, chemistry during your 12th standard? Please raise your hand. Okay. Have you applied for 10+2 technical entry scheme? Is there anyone who has applied for 10+2 technical entry scheme? One? Not even one? Okay. What could be the reason? Are you not aware there is such thing? See, point number one, unless and until you accept your ignorance, you cannot learn anything. So if you don't know anything, you have to accept you don't know. From then only, you can start applying. Number two, percentage. Whoever has scored less than 70%, isn't it? Maybe. If you have scored less than 70%, there is a chance that you would have not applied for it. That's okay. But I'm sure that after graduation, what are the available opportunities? You would have had it now, right from session 1. First, is there anyone who can explain what are the tests which is there in SSB interview? After clearing, let us assume that you have NCC certificate, Ministry of Defense Directorate. This NCC Directorate, NCC uniform gives you the opportunity that you can go for SSB interview directly without writing the CDS exam, Combined Defense Services exam. Are you aware? Yes? No, you're not aware. So please be aware. If you are an NCC cadet, if you have NCC C certificate with minimum B grade, you can apply for NCC Special Entry Scheme for both Officers Training Academy, OTA Chennai, as well as Indian Military Academy. As far as joining armed forces are concerned, there are two different categories. One is permanent commission. The second one is short service commission, which is of 10+2+2, 14 years. Earlier it was 5 years. Now it is 10+2+2, 14 years. But permanent commission is till you retire. People who choose permanent commission, who opt permanent commission, they get trained in IMA, 18 months. People who choose short service commission, they will be trained in OTA, Officers Training Academy, Chennai. This 10+2 technical entry scheme, they get trained in OTA, Gaya. So now I hope you understood the difference between permanent commission and short service commission. So let it be permanent commission or short service commission. The procedure is same. As a civilian, if you want to join armed forces, after 12th, it is NDA. You have missed that bus. You are in college. You can't go back and write NDA exam now. What you can do is the only opportunity which you have right in front of you is writing your Combined Defense Services exam, CDS exam. It is called Combined Defense Services. Most of the students, they are not aware that they can write the exam when they are studying 3rd year. The moment when you become 3rd year, you are eligible to apply for the exam, you are eligible to write the exam. You can clear CDS exam, and if your name appears in the overall All India merit list, you can go for Service Selection Board interview. Right? You can go for Service Selection Board interview. You can clear. At the time of attending Service Selection Board interview, you need to submit your mark sheet. That is when they will ask. Yes, your BTech mark sheet. But you are eligible to appear for the exam and clear the exam. Because there is a time frame. When you apply for CDS exam and the interview date, the duration is almost 6 months. Why do you want to waste 6 months? You can clear. How many of you are from engineering background? Please raise your hand. Which college you are from? Bharat University. You're also from Bharat University. Okay. So then you have a different technical graduate scheme also, like BTech, you have different scheme. Right? You can try for AFCAT Though arts and science students, we don't have that type of entry. Earlier we had for Navy, but now they have stopped. Okay, personally, I myself have appeared for more than 10 times. I've cleared my pilot aptitude battery test for Air Force. I've appeared for Naval Selection Board, and I've cleared CDS twice. I gave my attempt. Right? So that's a different story. But I'm here to explain about your picture perception description test and conduct a mock and give a proper feedback. Now, what do you mean by picture perception and description test? We all know that there are two types of stages in SSB, stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 1 comprises of your officer intelligence rating test. It's called OIR test. This officer intelligence rating test has got two divisions. One is verbal test, the second one is non-verbal test. Verbal test, there will be 50 questions and the duration will be of 27 minutes. In 27 minutes, you have to complete 50 questions of verbal ability, like jumbled words, missing words, sentences, synonyms, antonyms, article, preposition, right? Reading the paragraph and finding the answers. So whatever you have it for competitive exams, it's very simple. Nowadays, you've got plenty of websites and a lot of books which will give you more clarity on the questions and samples. And second test is non-verbal test. Mostly, it will be based on cube-based problem. How many sides a cube has got? So I will take two cubes and I will tell you what are the three images. Say for example, a cube has got 6 faces, 1, 2 and 3. Suppose if you have a particular image in phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3, and if I roll the dice for 2 times, then what will be the other phase? It's easy to find out if you think. Here the difficult task is time. Right? So the same 50 questions, they can give 26, 27 minutes. Sometimes it depends, 40 questions, 17 minutes. If you go for Air Force, 40 questions, 17 minutes. If you are applying for particularly pilot entry, you need to think very fast, right? Because you are supposed to take decision in a fraction of time. Participants in the last, am I audible? Yes? Yeah, if I'm not audible, you can shift here. So this is about officer intelligence rating test, verbal and non-verbal ability. And apart from that, there is one more test that is called picture perception and description test. What is the meaning for perception? What is the meaning for perception? Observe, perceive. What do you mean by perceive? Understanding, very true. Right, so what we perceive from the picture. That's why it's called picture perception. Or whatever is being perceived by the candidate, you are supposed to write it in a story format with certain rules and regulations, which I'm going to explain. And followed by, there will be a discussion based on your perception among the group. That's why it's called picture perception. Move on to the next slide. Right. So, go to the previous slide. I want each and every one of you to take a piece of paper or a notebook. And this will be the mock test. I want you to write the test. Yes. It is a mock session. You can write it in a notebook as well. Yeah, are we ready? Yes? Okay, are we ready? Don't write anything, wait for my instructions. If you're ready, I will start. Yes? No, don't look at it. This is not the test. It's going to change now. You ready? Okay. Picture perception and description test. The rule of the test is the picture will be shown to you for 30 seconds. How many seconds?
30 seconds.
After 30 seconds, the screen goes blank. Then you will have 3.5 minutes. How many minutes?
3.5.
3.5 minutes to write a story based on the picture. Before writing the story, there are certain rules and regulations which you are supposed to follow. Right? Three things I want you to mention in the story. Point number one, you have to draw a small square box on the left hand side of the paper. Right hand side, you can write your name. Right side, you can write your name. And on the left hand side, put a small square box. Imagine that the box which you are drawing in the paper is the box of the photo which you are seeing. Next, you have to note down three parameters. Parameter number one, how many characters you have seen in the picture? Two. Point number two, whether they are male or female. One male, one female. Then, approximate age of the person. Next, the mood of the character, the person, whether he is in positive mood or negative. So, how we are going to write? In this frame, on the left hand side, I have one person, right hand side, another person. So, I need to make a small sketch. Left hand side, wherever I'm seeing one person, I have to put one dot. Below the dot, I have to write the letter M for male, F for female, and if I'm not able to distinguish between male and female, what should I write? I should write letter P. P stands for person. Am I clear? So the first point, what you're supposed to write, whether it is a male or a female or a person. Number two is approximate age of the person. Number three is the mood of the character, whether positive mood or negative mood. Clear? So this where you are supposed to note down in the small square box which you have drawn. You will get 30 seconds for this. So I will show the picture for 30 seconds. I will ask you to note down these findings for 30 seconds. So 1 minute is over. After 1 minute, I will give you 3.5 minutes to write a story. In the 3.5 minutes, whatever you have seen in the picture, based on the picture, you are supposed to write a story. Right? So this is the test. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Right? Can we go for the test?
Yes, sir.
Let us not waste time. Already we are running late. Next. No, previous. Yeah. Your 30 seconds starts now. Right. Now 30 seconds to note down the instructions. You have 30 seconds to note down the instructions. No discussion. Don't talk. Don't talk. Don't discuss. Write your own story, no need to discuss.
ஸ்லோவா இருக்குடா நமக்கு டேட்டா ஸ்லோவா இல்லை
Time up. Stop writing. Turn on the lights.
சார் சார் சார்
So how was the test? Nice. So this is how like you get the timing. Now we will go for group discussion. I want 15 volunteers who can occupy the dais for group discussion. Who want to volunteer? Yes, 15, come, please. Occupy the dais. Come out. You can go and join them. Yes, please. Join. See, that is why you have come. You have come here for mock. This is not a selection process. To get practice. Yeah, I think maybe you can come for second round of discussion. Thank you, John. Each one will get a mic. I'll hand over the mic to you. In actual picture perception description test, what do you mean by group? Any idea what do you mean by group? Set of people, set of Okay. Here group discussion. The number for group is it should be 8 to 12. But when you go there, actually, it will be from 18 to 25, sometimes 25 also. I had attended a group discussion in Bhopal where the number of participants was 25. Can you imagine? 25. Okay. The rule for picture perception description test is you have seen a picture, you have written a story based on the picture. Now each candidate will get 1 minute to narrate the story. Right? So each candidate will get 1 minute to narrate the story. You have to stand up, explain the story to the team. When the last person completes the story, you will have 3 minutes time to discuss among the group. And I want one of you to tell the final story. So you have to discuss among yourself and give a final story. So these are the two things which you are supposed to do. Okay. Any questions? Any doubt? Clear? Yes.
So, in the deep jungle, a set of children, aged 12, set of 5 children, are discussing a mysterious story among themselves. So, the day before, they found a box, a mysterious box, while playing in the forest. So, after finding the mysterious box, they couldn't open it. It has no locks, it has no keys, it has no holes for the keys to break. But they couldn't open it. So, they were like kind of didn't knew what to do. So they tried to open it. And after some time, they wandered the forest for searching for something related to the open the box. After returning to the box, where the place it was, the box was actually empty. So these kids, aged 12 kids, were scared. So they were like in the middle of the forest, they were scared, and they knew that they were lost in the forest. So actually, they have been searching around the forest for a day, and they couldn't notice it. After some time, a tribal kid who was the same age was like seeing them from a distance under a tree, and they couldn't notice it until they was being attacked. So after the kids were being unconscious for a day, the tribal people were like saying that the box was a deity. So it was a goddess of death, and it was missing for centuries and decades. So the box is actually a living thing, and it is wandering the forest, uh, kidnapping the bat and other people who are occupying the forest travelers. So according to me, this story is about the mysterious box and the kids who help to find the tribal to find the box.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Garrett Vishnu, A. Vishnuvardhan, going to narrate my story about the picture which I saw. It is about 6 students who completed their school day. I mean, after school day, it was their last day, so they went to an place which they used to play daily. So it is like a forest where they spend their time having conversations. There were 4 boys and 2 girls. They were talking about their school days and how their last day felt, and they also were talking about their summer holiday homeworks, and they were also having some plans on their vacations, and they are also about to their leave for their tuition, which was their last day of tuition. So everyone were in cycles. They have their vehicles, and they also planned for that day about gathering. Gathering of the whole classmates, and they spend their day with. That's it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, I'm CPR Shandi from Bharat University. Now I'm going to tell about my story. My story is about a group of students who wants to go for a trekking. They planned for a trekking before a long time, but they wanted to go for trekking by this weekend. They went for a trekking, and our friends were excited for the trekking. And they went. They saw a lot of animals in their birds. They explored the forest inside of it, and finally, it's time for lunch, so they gather together at the shadow area and to eat the lunch. And students were excited, and their friends were sharing that my mother cooked this for us for the trekking. We told our parents that we are going for an excited trekking camp. And afterwards, one of the friends said that it's my first trekking. I feel very excited, and I was imagining that I have to come for this place another time. And one of the friend is saying that okay, let's plan for a big trekking. Let's get our parents along with us for the trekking places. Yes.
So good afternoon to all, to my cadets and to my seniors. I am Dhanashri from Bharat University. So my story starts with group of five students who are age of 18 to 25 who have left for trekking camp. So they all left for a forest where it was luscious green tree, the freshness, the happiness, and they shared their food. They had their meal there, so they shared their happy memories. And to make a memorable moment, they were together. So they had a very good the moment they spent. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Cadet V. Sudishna from Bharat University. Uh, the story narration about the picture is about a group of five children, no, six children. They were like having fun in park. So there was a situation before, like a boy done a mischievous thing. It was known to his friend only, but he didn't trust him. Like he wanted to know if he don't want to share this thing with any other, or he wanted to save him or something. So they was having a discussion like if he wanted to save him or not. So finally he wanted to uh, change his friend. So this is the story of trust and promise. Thank you.
Good evening, co-cadets and respected seniors. Myself, Satya Venkatesh from Bharat University, Cadet Satya Venkatesh from Bharat University. Today I am going to narrate a story which I have shown in the figure, shown in the picture. Actually, five friends are sitting together. They're simply having chit-chatting each other, and they're just talking about their college days and having some fun and talking about something about what they did in the school and what to play together the next time. And they're chit chatting, they're having somewhat fun, like in a daily basis. That's what I understand about the picture. Thank you.
Good evening to one and all. I am LCPL Kone Likit from Bharat University. Uh, Now I wanted to say the story that I written from the picture. It is about like six friends of the same college. They are all of teenage or UG graduation. One of their friends have their birthday that night, but these five kids are planning him a surprise birthday party, and they make any situation like they are going somewhere hiking like that. They didn't call their sixth friend, and they went to hiking nearby the mountain. And later, the sixth friend knows that they are going to the hiking because of they discussed it near him only because he wants to know that they are going. And then later, when they enjoyed a lot from the morning, they went for the hiking. Later, at the night, they arranged a campfire and it is relaxing. The friend was seeing from the tree behind and observing everything what they are doing without me. Are they enjoying without me? And he go and ask them later. Then they replied that we think that you are busy in the birthday party, and they kidding him for the some time. Later, they were like, we have planned a surprise party in here, and they bring out the arrangements which are in the grass nearby. Thank you. This is my the story.
Myself, Sipel from Bharat University. I observed from story from this picture is there's a village. In this village, there was one family is living. Um, there is one mom and dad. They are having two children. One is boy, one is girl. This boy having one boyfriend from his school. That boy is very he didn't convey with others. He will always be alone. So one day that boy asked that friend to come to his home. That day his sister also in his home. They enjoy together. Because of the boy came no. His mom cook for all. They eat and spend time together very happy. And this in that home they having cattle like cows, goats they having. Actually, this was a forest area, so they enjoy the lots. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Banu from Titamanada University. My story is about the six friends who are living in a village. The kids were very fascinating about the stories about the nearest mountain of their village. One day they were planned up to stay at the night in the mountain, and the six kids were missed. So they were searching around the mountain, and they get up tired, and they set up a campfire and searching for this sixth friend. The sixth friend was closely watching them to play with them. That's the concept.
I'm Cadet Muhammad Nihal from the New College. I would like to begin the story. There was a small boy. Okay? He was a mysterious boy running here and there. So, in the school, teachers couldn't control him. So, what he did, he was really he came out of the school, okay? And then he went here and there, roaming out of the school, and suddenly he went into the park and got lost, and he couldn't find the way to the home. So he was just little bit scared inside, and he was crying behind the bush. And there he was searching for help. And then he saw five children's primary school students, yeah, whatever. So he saw them, they were playing together, and he little bit, okay, now he was good, and he wanted to talk with those students, okay, but they were little big grown up boys, so he was scared. So what he did was he was watching them, whatever they were doing, he was watching them, where they were playing together, having fun together, and then later he wanted to talk to them. And then when they were settled in the park and playing together, talking together, and having a group discussion, then he slowly went to those students, then spoke to them, and then he told his problem. So those guys who were sitting over there, they found out his problem, and then they helped him to reach his home back. So that's my story.
Good afternoon, friends. Myself, A. Muhammad Taha. I am from the New College. Now I am going to tell a story about five friends who were planning on a trip behind who were planning on a trip behind the school which was studying in a forest. One day, the five students, which included four boys and a girl, at the age of 12 to 14, were planning to go on a trip or a picnic behind their school, which was a forest. And they started their trip at the early morning, and they were going for a trip at the forest, and they were all going like seeing animals and all the things in the forest, and they were enjoying their time. And after some time, they were getting tired and sat at a place and were seeing the sceneries and the nature. While they were getting rest, they felt tired and was like having not having water. So they told a friend to take some water for him. So he went and took some water, and while he came back, they were talking about all the pollutions and how all the city was damaged due to the factories and other things while they were enjoying the natures and trees. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Uday Prakash from Titangana College. Uh, I'm going to explain about the picture shows. In that picture, three group of three guys friends, five men and one girl, five boys and one girl, and one more person also was there. The friends were planned to go a trip in the forest, and they selected a particular place and enjoying enjoying the way they talking and what happened in their life and stories something, and they sharing the foods what they took from the home. Suddenly, one strange boy was behind the tree and watching them what they all do. He's all the same age, and the age was the students is 13 to 16 age. That's all. Thank you, sir.
3 minutes. Discuss among yourself and give me the final score.
Okay, I would like to start. After watching the picture, we saw there were six people, and one female and three males. Those two people, no, two people I can't see.
Please use English. Language we use will
They
replace it.
can't see. So we marked them as this person. And one male, I think he was behind the bushes. That's what we can see. Okay, okay, no problem. There were six people. Majors, I think they are children. From my point of view, it was like maybe primary school age of yeah, 20, 10 to 20. Their story is simple and happy. Maybe they were in the past where this thing yes. Once again, each one should get the chance to be. Okay? Each one should get the chance to be. Let's start. So at then he was my point of view that there are six people in the right? So they are in a big region of ball. They are discussing something. I was discussing something. And the one guy that came was like noticing he was hiding something somewhere. So this window is not questioned by five people. And these five people are like in a sitting room. So they were being engaged in so basically they are like discussing about I can't say what's the example? Okay, let me speak once again. Before the planning, we talk about we are just saying they were planning. They will let's say that they are planning. Maybe they are doing our story. So we are just That was a picture. There were 6 person and 5 were sitting and playing, and one was hiding behind. So that's how it was a daytime and filled with real. So it can be a park.
Is there anyone who would like to add anything extra?
After the school, they were all friends sitting together, and they left out a person. They were sitting at US event. So when the person was coming, they were not happy.
Okay, all right, thank you. How was the test? Those who have participated, how was the test? Good.
Yes, sir.
Did you learn anything?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What did you learn? How to appear for PPDD test. Picture perception and description, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So this is the mock screening. And suppose if you ask me to select, I would recommend number 2, Vishnuvardhan. Number 9, Banu. What's the full name? Coach. Yes. Okay, the first recommendation would be only these 2 people from the group. Rest all, I can send you back. Yes, whatever you have spoken, it is not up to the mark. Suppose if I am the interviewing officer, selection officer, only these 2 people had clarity, a relevant story to the picture. Number 2, what was your story, Vishnuvardhan?
After completing this
School?
yeah, we were having a vacation. So we were planning for the vacation and how we were experiencing.
Right. So can we show the picture once again? It clearly shows a group of friends, particularly school children. They are not college students. Right? If your vision is correct, do you all agree with me? It is a group of school children, not college students. Sorry? Ah. Your Satya Venkatesh. Right. So what was your complete story?
After the school, the five friends were chit-chatting together, simply planning together to go outside and cracking jokes.
Right. There is no simply planning. There is a difference between planning and simple. Isn't it? Right. So it is not professional. But the way they explained, they articulated the story is very important. So when you become an officer, each and every word you speak matters a lot. Right? We are not here to waste time. Next, anyone else? Yes. The name?
I said that teenagers, them as teenagers.
Your name?
Koner Likit, sir.
Yeah. Bharat
Teenagers are of
birthday celebration.
primary also.
Right? Isn't it? You spoke about birthday celebration.
Yes, sir.
Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe a relevant story, but it is not up to the mark. The way you have explained. So you can make it. You can give your try. I will tell you where and all you should improve. My objective is not to criticize you. My objective is not to criticize you, but it is out of these 12 candidates, 2 people did their best. One is the person number 2, other one is person number 9. These 2 people clearly explained what is the requirement of the test. Rest, all people you wouldn't meet. Point number 1. You would have missed out on communication. The way like you need to communicate. Tell someone to remove the chairs and arrange for the evaluation. Right. So we missed out on certain parameters. So you can ask me, so what are the parameters which I am supposed to do? When I say if the group is of 18 to 25, it is clearly understood that I have got only 1 minute to impress the officer, the testing officer. That 1 minute matters a lot. But I have noticed that that 1 minute you have not utilized it completely, or sometimes people have exceeded. One way you are not aware of 1 minute. Maybe you could have used 30 seconds, that is okay, but people crossing time limit, not allowed certainly. So you have to prepare. After picture perception and description, there will be a time, there will be a 5 minutes break that you'll be asked to wait outside, refresh yourself. So that is the time like where you have to prepare the story, practice for a minute. When you go inside, I require certain informations. In the story, I told how many characters, whether male or female, and whether the candidate is in a positive or negative or neutral mood. No one has explained. Considering these angle, chess number 2 and 9 is also eliminated from the GD. Did you say that how many persons were seen in the picture? Right? But it was not happened in the discussion. It was not happened in the discussion. Chess number 1 supported chess number 4 when she was cooking up some mysterious story. Chess number 1, Arjun. Dhanush. Right. So you didn't give any suggestion. Whatever she told, you simply agreed to her. Then you are not required there in the discussion. Isn't it? So all the 5 fingers are not same. This picture perception description test, it is a test of personality. What do we say? It is a test of personality. Someone said a mysterious box. I don't know, like maybe a habit of watching all kids channels and isn't it? Mysterious box. So we need to think more logically, not thinking out of the box. Out of the box doesn't happen in army. Right? So we don't want people who think out of the box and coming out with a mysterious box, all of a sudden it happens. Right? Always use logic when you go for these type of tests. Right. So picture I can notice like this can be a forest. 1, 2, 3, maybe like 2 kids and a family. One person explained. Maybe I can accept that story as well. Yes. Yeah. Your name? Correct. Village and a family. You have explained about family. And just number 12. 12. Last person. Uday Prakash. Uday Prakash. You got influenced by just number 11. Whatever he said, boy and girl, you told that story. Isn't it? Yes or no? Can you show your writing story? Sometimes you will get influenced. Yeah, he has planned, but he has not mentioned how many boys and girls. He has written boys and girls, but in the discussion he told, he added extra. And he didn't take permission. So, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to tell, while writing the story, I've written this, but in discussion, I would like to add few points. This genuinity was not there. Just because that, see, all these things, it is a test. The officer who is coming there, okay, so he will ask you to write the test, and then he will ask you to wait outside. If there are 12 people, 15 people, 25 people, 3 officers will be there. Each officer will take 5, 6 candidates. Before you come inside the discussion room, they will read your story. They will be exactly looking for what you are going to tell. Even before you enter the room, they know that what you are going to explain it to them. So you have told one additional points. What happened to your honesty? Right? Nobody, that is what. These are the qualities which we are looking for. When we train for 1.5 years, after 2 years, if you do some mistake in army, who's responsible? Right? Now, don't take it in a wrong way. Like I'll tell you, sit down. So these are the small things. See, Indian Army, it works on logic and rule. Yes? Any uniform services, it works on logic and rule. whatever you are supposed to do, you are supposed to do. See, it is not a very great test. It is a very simple test you need to discuss about. The one who's got very clear presence of mind can always win the test. You have to keenly observe what is there in the picture. You can justify. The person, the central character which is in the middle, always like we are psychologically tuned. Someone who's in the middle can be the central character. He can be of little higher age. Can you guess what is the approximate age of that man? No, the one on the top. Okay, now questions around? You should take a guess. If you are 18, it can be twice your age. If the person who's there can be twice your age, he can be small. He can be a kid having a school bag. So this can be perceived as a kid having a school bag, or he can be perceived as a nurse or a doctor. That is one way, like. This is how image will be when you go there. But applying the logic, a group, and the person who's on the right, he can be even little elderly than him. He can be a grandfather. Both of them can be parents, and these two can be kids. He can be a son, a boy, and he can be a girl. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes? There is no right or wrong answer for this picture. It is according to the individual, how you perceive the image and how you justify. On the rear side, you can tell there is one person. Yes? Hiding there. Right? And for the person who is sitting there, it might not be visible. It will look like a forest. You're sitting here, you're seated here, like you're able to see the person hiding there in the forest. The person who's sitting there in the last row, can he guess? No. Sometimes he'll miss out. The focus will be on the centralized picture. So that's why you need to have both horizontal and vertical scan, that 30 seconds. The moment the picture is shown for 30 seconds, you need to calculate how many characters, where and all they are there. Then top to bottom, 4-5 scans, left to right, 4-5 scans, freeze. Then go for male, female, then approximate age and the mood of the person. Then immediately you should start thinking about the story. What story can I write? You can also write a story about a family going on a picnic, like how you went along with your family members. Good. Questions? Questions? Any question? Turn off the projector. Lift the screen. Questions, please. Yes. No, no, no. That's what inspection, my instruction was very clear. I will give 1 minute for each candidate. At the end of discussion, I mean, you have 3 minutes to discuss among yourself and narrate the story. Which means, you have to choose one person. You have to decide that person. Turn on the lights. Right. Any other doubt?
Will we get extra credit?
Sorry?
Will we get extra credit?
No. See, it is about how you control this 15 member. It is a small group. If you are a leader, how you will control this group. Any questions? Yes? That's it. Right, so I will also share my number. It is there in the college website as well. Right, how many of you have come for CADO Fest? Any one of you? No, not from Bharat University. Okay, so every year we invite. It is there in the college website, or else I will share my number as well. Any doubt regarding SSB, like you can approach or any one of our third year cadets. Every year we organize this program. Okay. All the best. Good luck to you. See you in the next program. Thank you.